Picture this for a moment. Dorothy is 68 years old. She lives alone in a small house outside Tampa, Florida. Last Wednesday afternoon, she was watching the evening news when a headline flashed across the bottom of her screen. Social Security benefits could be capped at $50,000 per year. Dorothy froze. Her hands started shaking. She put down her cup of tea. She picked up her checkbook and started doing the math right there on her couch. Her Social Security check is her main source of income. Her late husband's pension covers her property taxes, but everything else, her groceries, her medications, her electric bill, her car insurance, every single dollar comes from Social Security. She sat there for an hour, staring at the wall, wondering if she was going to lose her home. She called her daughter the next morning and said, "Honey, are they really going to cap my Social Security? Should I file for it differently? Should I do something now before it's too late?" If you have felt this exact same fear in the last few weeks, I want you to take a deep breath and listen to me very carefully, because what I am about to tell you is the truth. Not the headline, not the YouTube clickbait, the actual, documented, government-verified truth about what is happening to Social Security in 2026 and beyond. Hello, my friend. I am Jocelyn, Senior Policy Analyst here at the Pension Guardian, and I have spent the last 3 weeks reading the official 2025 Social Security Trustees Report, the AARP analysis, and the actual think tank papers that started this entire panic. And what I found will probably surprise you. I am going to tell you 3 things today. First, I'm going to tell you the real story behind the $50,000 cap headline, where it came from, who proposed it, and whether it actually applies to you. Second, I am going to walk you through the real Social Security Trust Fund situation, the actual numbers from SSA.gov in plain English, no jargon. And third, I am going to give you 3 specific actions you can take this week to protect your benefits, no matter what Congress does or does not do in the next 10 years. And please stay with me until the very end, because there is a hidden mistake I am seeing seniors make right now in 2026 that is permanently reducing their lifetime benefits. They are doing it out of fear. And I want to make sure you do not become one of them. So let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 64 years old. He lives in Michigan. He worked 36 years as a maintenance supervisor for a school district. His full retirement age is 67. If he waits until 67, his monthly Social Security benefit will be about $2,400. If he waits until 70, it will grow to about $2,976 per month for the rest of his life. But 2 months ago, Robert watched a YouTube video. The video had a screaming headline about Social Security being capped, cut, eliminated, destroyed. Robert got scared. He thought, I better grab my money while I still can. So Robert went down to the Social Security office and filed for early retirement at age 64. His monthly benefit was permanently reduced to about $1,860 per month. That is a difference of $540 per month compared to waiting until 67, and over $1,100 per month compared to waiting until 70. Over a 20-year retirement, Robert just gave up between $130,000 and $260,000 of lifetime income, not because Congress cut his benefits, not because of any law, not because of the trust fund. He gave it up because of a YouTube headline. And when I tell you what is actually happening with Social Security, you will see why Robert's panic was not necessary. So let me get straight to the truth. The $50,000 Social Security cap that you have been seeing on YouTube, on Facebook, on the evening news, it is not a law. It is not a bill in Congress. It has not been introduced. No congressman has signed it. No senator has proposed it. There are no hearings scheduled. Let me say that again, because this is the most important sentence in this video. The $50,000 cap is not law, not a bill, and not being voted on. So where did it come from? It came from a think tank in Washington, D.C. called the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. They published a white paper in March of 2025. They called it the 6-figure limit. They proposed that as one possible way to fix Social Security's long-term funding problem, Congress could consider capping benefits at $100,000 per couple or $50,000 per single retiree when claimed at full retirement age. That is all it is, a proposal, a research paper. One of dozens of ideas being floated by economists, think tanks, and academics on how to keep Social Security solvent. And here is what almost no one is telling you. Even if this proposal somehow became law tomorrow, exactly as written, it would not affect 80 to 90% of American retirees. Why? Because the average Social Security retirement benefit in 2026 is about $1,976 per month. That is about $23,012 per year. Even the maximum benefit for someone who waited until full retirement age is $2,969 per month, which is about $35,628 per year. The $50,000 cap would only affect a single retiree whose annual Social Security benefit is over $50,000. According to the think tank's own analysis, only a small fraction of retirees in America receive that much. These are typically very high lifetime earners who waited until age 70 to claim. The vast majority of seniors watching this video, including Dorothy in Florida, are nowhere near that cap. So please, take that fear off your shoulders right now. The $50,000 cap headline is, for most American retirees, a non-issue. But, and this is important, there is a real Social Security challenge that I need you to understand. And this is where the urgency comes in. Per the official 2025 Social Security Trustees Report, released on June 18th of 2025 and published at ssa.gov, the OASI Trust Fund, that is the fund that pays your retirement and survivor benefits, is projected to be depleted in the year 2033. If you combine the OASI fund with the Disability Insurance Fund hypothetically, the combined OASDI funds would deplete in 2034. Now, what does that actually mean for you in plain English? It does not mean Social Security goes away. It does not mean the checks stop. It does not mean you lose everything. What it means is this: even after the trust fund reserves are gone, payroll taxes continue. Every worker in America continues to pay 6.2% of their wages into Social Security. Every employer matches it. That money keeps flowing in. Per the trustees' report, after the trust fund is depleted, that ongoing payroll tax revenue would be enough to pay approximately 79 to 81% of scheduled benefits. In other words, if Congress takes absolutely no action between now and 2034, which would be historically unprecedented, your Social Security check would be automatically reduced by about 19 to 21%. AARP describes this as beneficiaries would receive only 81 cents for every dollar they should be receiving. For an average retiree receiving $24,000 per year, that would be a cut of about $4,500 to $5,000 per year. That is a real concern. That is worth paying attention to. That is worth contacting your member of Congress about. But it is very different from Social Security is gone or benefits will be capped at $50,000. Now I want to share something else important, something most YouTube videos will not tell you. This is not a new problem. The Social Security Administration has been projecting trust fund depletion in the 2030s for nearly 20 years. Congress passed major Social Security reform legislation back in 1983 under President Reagan, and that bill provided 50 years of solvency. We are now approaching the end of that 50-year window, and Congress has many options to fix it. Some of those options being discussed include lifting the payroll tax cap above the current $184,500 wage base, gradually raising the full retirement age, adjusting the cost of living formula, raising the payroll tax rate slightly. The $50,000 cap is just one of many possible solutions. Per the Social Security actuaries, even a one-time payroll tax increase of about 3.5 percentage points, spread across all workers and employers, would close the entire 75-year funding gap. In other words, this is a fixable problem. It just requires Congress to act. And here is something else important that just happened. In January of 2025, Congress did act. They passed the Social Security Fairness Act, which restored full Social Security benefits to about 2.8 million public sector retirees. These were teachers, police officers, firefighters who had been losing part of their Social Security because of two old rules called the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset. Those rules are now gone, and eligible retirees received retroactive lump sum payments for 2024. So Congress can act when there is enough pressure. That is the message AARP and other senior advocacy groups are pushing very hard right now. Now let me give you the 3 exact actions you should take this week. Step 1. Today, go to ssa.gov/myaccount and create or log into your My Social Security account. This is the only authoritative source for what you personally will receive. Pull your benefit estimate. Pull your earnings record. Make sure every year of work you remember is showing up correctly. If anything is missing or wrong, you have a limited window to correct it. Use Form SSA 7008. Step 2. Do not make any panicked claiming decisions based on YouTube headlines. Please do not become Robert. Filing for Social Security early permanently reduces your monthly check for the rest of your life. According to SSA, claiming at age 62 instead of 67 reduces your benefit by about 30% forever. Claiming at 67 instead of 70 reduces it by another 24%. If you are healthy, if you have other income or savings to bridge the gap, every year you wait pays you back enormously. Make this decision based on your actual life situation, not on news headlines about hypothetical future cuts. Step 3. Contact your member of Congress, both your House representative and your 2 senators. You can do this for free through aarp.org or by calling the U.S. Capitol switchboard at 202-224-3121. Tell them, calmly, clearly, that protecting Social Security is your #1 issue. AARP says their members have already sent over 2.1 million direct messages to Congress on this exact issue. Your voice matters, especially as a senior voter. And now, the hidden mistake I promised to tell you about at the beginning of this video. The biggest mistake I see seniors making right now, in 2026, is panic claiming. They are watching videos with scary titles about caps and cuts. They are losing sleep. And in their fear, they are walking into Social Security offices and filing for benefits years before they should. Every single time they do that, they lock in a permanently lower monthly check for the rest of their lives. And if they are married, for the rest of their surviving spouse's life through survivor benefits. The trust fund is not going to be depleted tomorrow. It is projected to be depleted in 2033 or 2034. That is 7 to 8 years away. And even if Congress does absolutely nothing, the worst case outcome is a 19 to 21% reduction. Not the elimination of Social Security, not a $50,000 cap that does not even apply to most retirees. A 19 to 21% reduction is significant, but it is much smaller than the 30% permanent reduction you create for yourself by claiming at 62 instead of 67. So fear-driven early claiming actually hurts you more than the worst-case trust fund scenario. Please, please do not be Robert. So hear me clearly on this. Do not rely on YouTube headlines. Do not rely on Facebook posts. Do not rely on email forwards from your cousin. Go to ssa.gov and read the actual trustees report yourself. Go to aarp.org and read what they say. Talk to a licensed financial planner who is a fiduciary, meaning they are legally required to put your interests first, before you make any major decision about when to claim Social Security. Your monthly Social Security check is the single most important financial asset most American retirees have. It is bigger than most pensions. It lasts for life. It adjusts for inflation every year. It cannot be lost in a stock market crash. It is the foundation of your retirement security. Treat it like the foundation it is. Protect it, verify it, maximize it, and do not let a YouTube headline scare you into giving up tens of thousands of dollars of lifetime income. If this video helped you today, please share it with one other person who has been worried about Social Security. One sibling, one friend, one neighbor, one sister at church. Somewhere out there right now, there is a Dorothy in Florida who has not slept well in 3 weeks because of these headlines. You might be the one person who calms her fears and helps her think clearly again. I am Jocelyn with the Pension Guardian. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. Stay informed, stay calm, stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.